And then
Right.
when we get to that time where you got to leave, just let me know and I'll do a proper send off to
Yeah.
make sure that you're able to go rescue your husband.
Yeah, otherwise he has to walk for a couple of hours.
Yeah. I mean, you can let him walk for a little bit. Meet him.
He could, yeah, meet him halfway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Make him do
poor
a little bit
guy.
of the work. So.
Oh.
It's time for Gab and Doodle.
Hey everybody, welcome to Gab and Doodle. I'm your host, Mark Hoffman, also known as Studio Hoffman. Today we have on Miriam Bos, who will be joining us from afar. I got my sketch here all planned out. So Miriam does a lot of really cute. I said in the ad a bouquet of things. She always plays with a lot of information in her images, like lots and lots of colors and things of the sort. And so we're excited to have her on. Today we're doing a city life theme. So I got this little mouse walking a bunch of little bugs through the city. And we will get that all going here in a second. Let me switch the camera to me. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So today we are going to have our lovely chat as we usually do. Again, a reminder, I post these, recently it's been in batches, so I have one that I still need to post from last week, but up to YouTube, it's Studio Hoffman, 2Fs, 2Ns on that. And then if you're interested in a mentorship, just DM me. I'm sort of starting up the school year in a matter of a week from today. And so I'll try to fit people in where I can. And then for a little bit, we're staying at that 2 p.m. sort of time frame on Thursdays, but eventually it will shift to a little bit later based on my schedule. So I'm going to let our guest in, and we're going to get going right away. Oh, wait, before I do that, I want to put a Ask Us Anything in the comments. Ask us anything. There we go. Send. And I'm going to pin that. So if you have questions or whatnot, throw them in the comments, and we'll try to answer. All right. Miriam into chat. There we are.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I
Beautiful.
think I think I have an echo. Hang on. Okay.
Okay, you have an extra feed going as well on the side?
Your feed, this feed, just in case. I
Gotcha.
wasn't sure if things I had a plan B.
Oh, no. Okay. So we're all set. I got a feed here as well so I can sort of keep stuff going. I see Pixie Spirit says say hi to my sister
Ah,
already.
my
Uh,
younger sister.
there you go.
Hoi zusje.
So thank you for joining us. We're fans of your work here in house, and we've thoroughly enjoyed sort of looking through your books and sort of watching your illustration feed on Instagram populate throughout time. And so we are excited to have you on and chat with you a little bit about your process and industry and life and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well,
Um,
thanks.
so what I ask people to do right at the beginning is to sort of give us a rundown of who you are and what you do. For those that don't know, and I always say shame on them, they should know you. But can you give everybody a little sense of who you are and what you do?
Okay, so my name is Miriam Bos. I live in the Netherlands, in Apeldoorn, surrounded by lots of nature, which I love. And to go a little bit back into my, not into the future, hang on, back into, sorry,
Into the past?
confusing things.
Yeah.
In the past, yeah.
Yep.
Um, so like many of us, I always loved drawing, and even when I was little, I told my parents, I told them I wanted to create the illustrations were actually the pictures in that I saw in the books, and then my parents explained, oh, those are illustrations, and you could maybe become an illustrator. So that was primary school, and from that moment, I just knew I had to do secondary school and then go to art academy, and then life starts, something like that.
So you knew early on that you wanted to be a
An
illustrator
illustrator.
versus just an artist. You knew that illustration was the ticket
Yes.
for you. That's
Yeah, picture books.
there's a lot of people who that I've had on, myself included, who didn't realize that sort of illustration was a career for a long time. Like we just sort of overlooked it, or in my case, it was we were taught in school about all the famous painters, but not necessarily the illustrators. And so
Right.
it took a teacher, a special teacher, to sit down and go, no, this is actually a job. That's awesome that your parents were
Yeah, they explained to me that those were illustrations, and I
yeah.
was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make those."
Were they?
Well, actually, I was a bit naive, at just thinking I could do that, not knowing that not everybody makes it into that career.
But you
Career.
did. You
I
did.
did. I
Yeah.
did.
Give
I
yourself
wanted
credit for it.
to.
And did were your parents in general supportive of your art career?
Yeah, very much so.
Okay,
Always.
good,
So.
good. So today we're going to be chatting for a bit. I know you have a hard out because you're. We'll all cross our fingers for you because your husband's bike got a flat.
He's got a flat, yeah. So
And
I
so
have to
you have to
pick
go
him up.
rescue him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're gonna spend some time chatting, talking, making, etc. My wife sort of documents this and always wants to know a little bit about material-wise, and I do too, of course. But sort of what materials you're using today, whether it be digital, whether it be traditional, if there's
Traditional.
brands. Are there?
I'm just going to, I made a sketch that I made. I'm not even sure if you can see.
Oh yeah,
So,
I see it now.
so somebody on a bicycle, actually, that was me today on a bicycle. So I thought that would be nice for city life. And so I made this little this sketch.
And then what are we going to use for materials?
I was thinking of using this. Maybe, but usually I just mix everything. Like I also have this messy thing that's actually watercolors. And oh, and today I went to an art, well, not really an art shop, but art supply shop sort of. And I've got these really cool. I'm very happy with these now. Oh, is that readable?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what brand it is. Is it?
I've never heard of it before. I was actually in a shop that sells those models,
Yeah.
like little cars and that kind of thing. And these are acrylic markers. And I didn't know the brand because usually I have Posca and Molotov, I think you
Yep.
call.
Yep.
And those are quite bright colors usually, but they had like very nice greens
Yeah.
and
Subdued.
subdued, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I need to try those.
And that
So,
first thing of paint that you held up that was the cakes. What brand was that one? Was the
oh, I always
does it say?
forget the name. It's something Japanese.
Oh.
Kuretake, maybe,
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep.
I
Okay.
think.
That's right. That's right. That's
So,
and
so
then
I got these, but they're actually some sort of gouache,
yeah. Yeah.
but in pens, yeah.
Um and then what do you use for a surface? Are you on water
Just
paper?
watercolor paper. It's a Dutch brand, very a sort of cheap Dutch brand, if you can
Okay.
call. Terschelling.
All right.
Sorry for spitting.
No,
Terschelling.
no, fine. This is great. And so
Dutch.
we've already talked a little bit. We're doing city life as sort of the theme for the day, but you don't live in the city. You live out in
No,
the
actually, I
country.
do live in the city, but
Oh,
but we live in a province, if that's the word, that's quite green. It's called the Veluwe. So when we sit on our bicycles, we can go any direction from our town. and then there's nature, so which is great.
Is it a big town that you're in?
Yeah, sort of big.
Okay.
For the province, it's sort of big, I
Okay.
think.
I'll
Apeldoorn.
have to look it up afterwards. I don't know much about the Netherlands beyond sort of I know some of the Olympic sports that are popular there and you
I
know
don't even know those.
and a few sort of like geographical and historical things, but I don't know I couldn't like pinpoint a lot about it. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll chat about it. So we can switch to our downshoots and we can just start working.
Okay.
And I have questions for you. This is a conversation, so if topics go any direction that you don't like, just switcheroo. You can ask me questions. I can ask you questions. And then
Right.
when we get to that time where you got to leave, just let me know and I'll do a proper send off to
Yeah.
make sure that you're able to go rescue your husband.
Yeah. Otherwise, he has to walk for a couple of hours.
Yeah. I mean, you can let him walk for a little bit. Meet him.
He could. Yeah, meet him halfway.
Yeah.
Oh,
Make him do
poor
a little bit
guy.
of the work. So
Oh gosh, but he has a late shift. He's done by 10 p.m. So it's a
what?
long day for him.
10 p.m. What does he do?
Oh, he's doing telephone calls, the kind of thing for an insurance company. So people
Oh.
can even call in the middle of the night when they have a flat tire, but with their
Oh.
cars, for instance, the kind of.
So he has a flat tire and he can't call for assistance.
No, that's
Yeah.
that's a bit weird. Yeah, he can call for me.
Yeah. There you go. It's
Who
like a
do
doctor
who
can't drive for
who you gonna
themselves.
call?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so let's switch to our downshoots, and then
Yeah,
I'm gonna start laying in some questions
right.
as we go along.
I
Um,
hope I can. Hang on.
yeah, and I'll watch the feed here on this end too, so I can sort of make sure everything's lined up, or if there's any issues, I can help sort of solve. Um,
Right. Oh, hang on. That's my face. Can I turn this around?
yeah,
I can.
or you
Yay.
can hit the little circle arrows, and it will switch to the other camera.
Yeah, I just did that.
Yeah.
So
Okay. That looks
for
pretty
some
good right
reason,
there.
oh, thank you. Yeah, it's not, it's doing that. Um, Stupid stand.
Oh, the stand is mine.
Yeah, it's for some reason it's a bit floppy. I can't.
I've
If I
had.
let go, it's doing that.
Is there a way to tighten it at all?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay. I have the
Sorry
same
for all the
thing. Mine does
shaking.
not want to sit level. I have to really crank the
I
vice
think
or
I got
whatever you
it.
call it.
Oh, right. Oh,
And
so
again,
what are
if you
you
need to use,
working on?
so I showed this little sketch here at the beginning.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
I don't know if you can see it here, but it's
I can.
mice walking through the city. It's a bug walker instead of a dog walker that's walking. I don't know what kind of bugs they are. They're
Oh
bugs.
my gosh, I love that.
And so I just drew this mouse the other day, and I want to put the mouse in a piece. Um,
Actually, I decided to make it difficult for myself not
and,
to do animals this time because,
oh,
difficult. I don't draw people that often anymore because of my book, which is with cute animals. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself and I'm going to choose for city living, which is also a bit more, I like drawing nature, which is easy for me, but this is a little bit of a challenge.
and you also threw in a bicycle, which is a whole nother. Uh,
Yeah, but I was thinking I'm Dutch. I should be able to draw that damn bicycle.
is that? I mean, I know that there is like a big bicycle culture over there just for transportation purposes.
Yeah.
Is that something that like pretty much everybody in town bikes versus drives?
But there's also a lot of people in cars, of course, but there's a lot of people on bicycles and school kids, well, when they're not when they're not in the cars of their parents, but most school kids, they go on their bicycles to school on their own, like for secondary school and that kind of thing. And that's what I did as well.
It's very very healthy compared to the states here, where people just drive for very very short distances. I don't even want to admit how I use my car because I mean I drive a long distance, an hour drive basically to work, which that's probably more necessary. But
Right.
um, it's still just for everyday errands. I don't need to use my car, but I do. Um,
Yeah,
but
but it makes more sense. I've heard from my friend Katie that that it's not as safe as it is here to
no,
drive on your bicycle. That there are hardly any lanes. Well,
there's
maybe it's in different states. It may be different, but some states
there's
don't really have that.
yeah, and if
I
you're in
heard.
the if you're in the city, there might be bike lanes, but out where I am, it's sort of you're on the road with a bunch of cars, and so
Right,
you just have to be very, very careful as you go along, else you will get into accidents quite often.
right.
Um, but so
That's sad. Yeah.
tell me a little bit. Let's talk career. Let's talk about sort of you know you mentioned the idea that when you were young you knew that this was sort of the thing. Um,
Right.
what age was that exactly? Like were you
Oh,
like 5, 6, 10,
I,
15?
I'm not sure. I just know that I was still going to primary school, so I'm thinking the age of 8 or 9, maybe.
That's but that's like early to kind of know uh,
Yeah,
your life choice, your career choice for life. Um,
yeah. I just knew I wanted to do that, and I just figured like I do like school, of course. Well, not always. I was the kind of person that got teased by people, but so I was like, if I just go through school time and then sit it out, I can just go to the art academy, not
yeah,
knowing by then that it would be, you know, still we had to go through what do you call that? Like it's some sort of test. You needed to be admitted, and so you had
yeah.
to show some artwork and work on a little project to show them.
To show that you have an interest or show that you had skill.
Uh, well, both, I guess, but
Okay.
mostly skill. So, and I'm still surprised that they actually took me in, like, that they said, yeah, it's okay. Come on. Because remembering what I made back then, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so bad. But they saw something in that.
I feel I feel like that's a common sort of sentiment with artists. Like even thinking back to what I got into art college with, I don't know as well. I'm not impressed with it now, definitely, but
No.
also like why did they let me in? Or even with teaching now, sort of like my portfolio when I was applying to teach, there wasn't a lot of proof of me being a good teacher or that I had those skills at the time, and
Oh,
yet
right.
someone took the risk, and luckily it paid off. But I feel like that's a common sentiment for artists in general is to say like, how did I get by? How come no one caught me or figured out this was all a ruse or whatever it may be? um
Same. And all my art, the work I made at art school, I still think it was bad what I made. I didn't enjoy what I made, and I actually felt during art school I felt like they were trying to push me into some direction that I sometimes I'm happy they did, but at the same time, all the stuff I made there very experimental. Also, I don't really like it. When I see it, I'm like, geez. Yeah, I
is
can
it
actually tell that I was forcing myself to make this because I knew the teachers wanted me to make that.
Yeah. Was it them trying to have you mimic a certain style, or was it just sort of like you
Mm,
painting versus drawing, or what
mm,
was the, like thing they were pushing you towards?
um, like like now I'm working on an illustration that just shows the way it is, sort of there's a little bit of freedom in this illustration that I'm making right now. Like it's not anatomically perfectly correct, so
Yeah,
there's this element of illustration in it still. But I felt at school, I felt that they were pushing us a little bit more away from that. Like,
towards like super realism or
no,
like
no, the opposite, actually.
oh,
More the opposite.
interesting. I'm so used to like the European model of like classical painting techniques and things of that sort that I've heard so many people say they get pushed towards sort of a older approach or a sort of classical aesthetic.
Right.
So it's interesting they push you the other direction. Was
Yeah,
that
I felt like it, and maybe you know, it's just a feeling of that time. So, oops, everything wet here. um, maybe sorry, maybe I misunderstood back then, but that's the feeling I had, and
yeah
also maybe because I always really loved comics and I loved fantasy style, and they sort of, well, somebody really told me at some point like you have to move away from that, and some teacher, and I was like, but I like drawing fairies and I like drawing mermaids, you know. But
yeah
maybe that was good that they told me that. But the effect was that after the art academy, I went back to fantasy big time. I was like, hell, I'm going to paint fairies, and until I'm fed up with it. And at some point, I was fed up with it, by the way. So
I mean the teacher in me or the parent in me get like that hurts to hear that there was this like don't do that, do this thing that I want you to do.
I
uh,
know,
that and I don't, maybe it's all not just the teacher and the parent but also just the like the rebel in me or the person who doesn't want to always play by the rules. And
right?
that's hard to hear in some sense, but I mean ultimately it got you to the point where you are now. And
Right,
so
doing something completely different again,
yeah, but
I feel.
you are there skills that are translatable between the given sort of approaches that you took then versus now versus
Yeah, I guess what I did like back then were like learning to work with certain techniques, like with acrylic paint. We had lessons from a man. I forgot his name. He was very popular. Everybody always knows his name, and I forgot it. Sorry. Anyway, an older man, and he was teaching us how to work with acrylics and with oil paint in some cases, and um, but mostly about techniques and looking at light and that kind of thing. And there were other classes that I really enjoyed too. Same. Oh, I remember his name, Koos. His name was Koos.
okay
Um, and yeah, in that class we learned anatomy, if that's the way to
yep
pronounce it.
yep
Yeah,
exactly
but without models, like real models. I never really enjoyed that anyway, the naked models in front of us. But what he made us do was pick out or cut out images from magazines with people in clothes, and then on top of those we would use transparent paper and then draw their bodies without the clothes, and then later with another layer of transparent paper we would draw the clothes again, and then learn how the clothes would move around a body part like an arm or a leg, you know, and then
yeah
see, oh, you know, there's the wrinkle because it's the elbow, or and that way we actually learned from images,
yeah you sort of look
which,
at the anatomy of clothing and people at the same time
right.
in that process. um
Right. And then he also taught us he let us draw these things multiple times, even like a couple of times, but then with a different light on it. So what would that wrinkle look like when the light came from the right or from the left, or, you know, so he went a little bit deeper into that the topic. And I always enjoyed those lessons a lot. And I
Now,
think I've learned mostly from those classes.
when you were in school, did you take classes specifically in kidlit, in picture books, or in children's literature?
No, we didn't really have that. I understand that in America it's or in the USA, I mean, it's common that you take classes, I think, but we just had what do you call it, like some sort of roster, and then we had a couple of subjects that we had to follow, and we just had a subject called illustration, and then we had within this subject we got editorial projects, and well, we got kidlit projects too, but not all the time. It was not a class that was specifically for this
Yeah,
this part of illustration.
yeah, it wasn't the niche content of
Oh
sorts.
yeah, yeah, thanks. Yes.
Well, so
Thought it was a bit hard to explain exactly how
yeah,
we
no, that makes. I mean, I know people that have been through something similar where it was a very sort of generalized art or
right,
generalized illustration, but not the specificity that comes with a specific market.
right.
So most of the stuff that you do now, you had to then pick up on your own. I assume you had to
Yeah, yeah, of course.
sort of learn it as you go
Yes.
versus um, what do I want to say, like have someone instruct it to you. Um, was that was that a hard thing to tackle? Because I mean, you already went to school for these for illustration and things of the sort, or for art in general, and then to throw in the mix that you had to also learn the specificity of different genres within something like illustration. Was that something that like you had to study after school?
No, it's just like, well, it took a while before I actually went to draw and illustrate. I mean, the real picture books. It was just try and contact people and hope you get a project and then learn on the go, I think,
Yeah.
mostly. So what happened at art school was that at some point the teacher said about approaching clients that you just need to call them and then share your portfolio with them and then ask if they have a job for you. So that's what I did. I was
Yeah.
immediately calling to places, and then I already got myself uh, two editorial jobs, badly paid. I learned later on, but I had no clue what to ask for money
Yeah.
because that wasn't really taught at school at all. Which I
Broad.
still think it's really wrong. I understand it's nowadays they do get some help with that, the students of art school, but back then I don't really think we got any financial subjects at all.
Yeah, they
Like,
just sort of let you out into the world and said, "Go out there and try," and that
yeah,
was the
no,
easiest.
not really easy.
Yeah. Um, so, but looking at just in general, sort of your method of learning for those that are out there who are like, they haven't taken a lot of art classes, or they're maybe they studied something other than illustration, want to break into something like illustration. Are there things that you picked up along the way that you think have um, sort of grown your skill to a point where now you are able to get jobs and you are able to get paid the right amount? And the are there things that looking back at it you go like, oh man, this is the kind of information I wish someone had told me, that you'd be willing to share at this point with the audience listening?
Gosh, like right now I can't. Maybe a little bit later I may be able
Yeah.
to come up with something.
Okay.
Um, I guess there are so many things like the way you talk with your, well, maybe things that I've learned during the years is that the way you are in contact with your clients, like you're working with them, not for them. That's
Yeah.
actually a thing I've come to understand. Also, like in the beginning, I tended to be too when I sent an email to a client, or yeah, mostly with emails, I tended to be too polite, like almost kissing their heels, kissing their
Okay.
feet.
Yeah.
Well, not that bad, but yeah, but a little bit like that. And um,
Because you were like afraid of losing a job, or what was the?
yeah, because you have no idea how to talk to these people, and also by getting older, you get. I was also very young. I didn't mention that yet, but when I went to art school, I was one of the youngest in our class also. So when I started working on my own, I was also very young. And it's just you don't know. You have no idea what to expect because at school they didn't really. I can't remember them even warning us for anything.
Yeah.
I've also had very rude art directors, and then yeah, I find it very important to tell people that you're working with them, that you should not be acting like they are more of than you and that they are your boss. Well, sort of, they are your client, but it's different.
Yeah. They hire you for a reason. They hire you because of your opinion,
Yeah,
because they want you just to follow orders. Because if that were the case, they just have someone internal do it. Versus,
right, right. And also that they don't like that. They don't necessarily like it when you're that weird and polite.
yeah.
I noticed at some point that that they were also more casual, and I mean they're also people like you,
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't be afraid of them. They're just like you, people working hard on a fun project, and maybe the project is with you
Do you
if you're lucky.
you have? I mean, obviously, we still go through as artists. We still go through the struggle of trying to like fight for ourselves and things of the
That
sort.
too,
Time
yeah.
on, but do you feel like you have it much more under control at this point and are
A little, yeah.
like advocating for yourself more?
Absolutely, that too. I've become a little less afraid that when I'm losing a job, well, when they say no in the
Yeah.
end, when I give them a proposal for the amount of money I would like, and they say no, even in times when it wasn't very nice to say no, I'm very happy that I stuck to the guns. Do you say it like that?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, stuck to my guns in some cases because yeah, when you work on stuff, you on a project, you want to get a fair payment for the work you're doing, and some clients are just they have a budget and are sometimes not willing to pay a little bit more,
Yep.
and they often find a different illustrator who is willing to do it for less.
I mean, the sad part in those situations too, and I assume you can understand this, that it's not always the art director's choice, that they may have a budget line that was given to them by,
Right,
the
right,
publisher or by their boss or whoever it may be, and so they may really want to work with you, but they can't always
right.
demands that you may have, and there's all sorts of like weird logistics that go into it. Now, one of the things that you mentioned that I want to sort of jump back to a little bit, when you said that when you propose a budget to them, is that for kidlit or is that for something else?
A different different types of clients.
Okay.
Sometimes I get a budget from them, and I'm like, sorry, that's too low. And sometimes they ask me the budget. Depends a little on the type of client. I'm not sure.
Well, that's
It,
what I'm asking is,
I don't have an immediately. Sorry, I don't have an immediate answer or example. I mean, but it happened both, like both ways.
yeah, the reason I asked that in particular is that the kidlit market, at least in the US, is very much they provide a number to you of what they.
Right, right.
But I know there are industries within illustration, like advertising and some other odds and ends, wherein you propose the budget to them. And so that's why I was wondering if it was Kidlit or if it was something else that would sort of, or maybe it was just a cultural, like the publishers there work a little bit differently of some sort.
Yeah,
Um,
that too. That's definitely true. By the way, that in the Netherlands they work differently than the UK, and in the UK they I think they work differently than the US and USA. So
Now,
with Kidlit, I mean.
with all the work that you've done, and I know you've done a variety of different types of books and things. Is there one in particular sort of fond of? Like right now, I have Flower on hand here. Yeah, How to Speak Flower, and that's more of a collection of images. I mean, it's a sort of what do I call it? An instructional book that has a bunch
Right.
of illustrations that are essentially family friendly illustrations. And then you do have picture books and you do have all these different things. But is there a one type of book that you sort of like gravitate towards?
Could you repeat that? Because sometimes I don't hear you, so I couldn't
Oh,
follow the last sentence,
oh,
the
I
last question.
is there a certain type of book that you like to work on in particular? Is it,
Oh,
you
right.
know, picture books
Yeah.
that are the key, or is it something else?
I
What
really,
drives you?
really like the picture books best,
And
and especially when I also write them myself.
yeah, why do you like that the best? Is there
There's more freedom in it. Also, because when I'm writing them, I kind of know what I want with the illustrations.
yeah, the visuals, you can sort of do both parts in one shot.
Right.
And then you know, like when you were coming out of school and you were looking at career and you had your first gigs and things of the sort, um, did you know at that point that um, illustration and the career would sort of um, expand to the point that it is now, or was it something where you were really unsure for quite some time?
I was a bit unsure, but that's mostly because after art school, I did a teacher degree as well. My
Uh,
parents really wanted me to do that because they said, well, if you can't make it as an illustrator, you have a backup.
yep.
And I hated it because I'm just no teacher material at all. It's just not my thing.
Okay.
And well, not in class, especially back then when I had to go and go to a class and teach, and our age difference was not big enough. So I really felt like one of the students instead, and they felt that too. So they started teasing again because, insecure person
Yep.
standing in front of the class. Um, so yeah, that was not really great, and it also sort of meant because I was doing school that I had trouble combining it with my illustrations. So that sort of tuned out a little bit again. And funny enough, after school, I went to the USA, to California, to create not illustrations but animations instead.
And
Not because I knew how to do that, but because my uncle has a company there, and he wanted me to create some animations because during school I taught myself how to work with, I don't know if you know it, Flash
yep.
from Macromedia, and he saw my animations and he was like, "Hey, that's what I'm looking for this project. Can you make them?" And then he also asked me to come and live there for a little couple of months. And so yeah, so I didn't start making illustrations after school. I started making animations, and I hated it at some point. I didn't have time to
Work,
illustrate.
my wife both and I worked in animation for a while, and I know the struggles of that job, but also some of the
Oh, interesting, by the way, that you did animation as well.
it was a job. It was when I got out of school. I needed insurance. There was that job presented itself, and it sort of I had friends that did it as well, so it was very easy to jump in and have a community. But I had the same challenge of it wasn't the perfect fit for me. Like looking back at it and where I am now, I'm glad I did it, but it's I'm very much an illustrator at heart. And
Yes, me too. And I didn't have time to illustrate, and I was missing it so
yep,
much at some point. And I
I
was like, oh, really, really, I want to go home. This is not for me.
I have students who I keep telling them that sometimes getting a art job when you get out of school sounds amazing, but if that art job is not truly what you want to do, sometimes it can be very taxing, and by the time you get home, you're just like, I don't want to work on my own stuff. I've spent all my creative energy
Energy, yeah.
on someone else's, and now it's like when it's my time, I don't have the interest. And I think that really sort of happened for me a lot when I was doing that job. That it just took up a lot of my um, or impacted my free time. Let's put it that way. Um,
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Well,
so
same with me.
yeah, I think it's probably not all that uncommon a situation that kind of springs up. So tell me a little bit about sort of the break into Kidlit and the challenges, the things that worked out, the things that surprised you. Sort of walk me through some of those early days of your illustration career.
Okay, so at first I didn't really do the picture work on picture books.
Yep.
I started with education. Do you call it educational illustrations? Like it is for kids,
Okay.
but it's like books about mathematics and grammar books, spelling books, that kind of thing, and then illustrations for those. So I'm not sure what that word is again. So if you have like 1 and 1 is 2, and an illustration with that uh, pro
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's like
what do you, sorry?
mathematic or
Yeah, or
or
a story about grammar, and then it's like kids have to read a little bit, and then that little story has an illustration, that kind of
yeah, that's a like specific here in the States. I would just refer to that as just sort of the education market.
right,
Um, I think it's
but for kids. But
yeah
it was
for
for
kids.
kids. Yeah,
Yeah, for kids. Like there's a whole industry of kidlit that is the education market. And it works slightly differently in the sense of like sometimes they're not real long stories. They're short. Sometimes you do a whole bunch of them in one shot, and they have to match a certain theme. Um,
yeah. But in
publisher.
my case, they were just very individual illustrations. Like
Yeah.
they could be 5 apples and 4 pears. That kind of simple things, like spot illustrations.
Um, it's something that when I got out of school, there was a potential for that to be a for me, but I it was not in the cards completely, and I'm kind of glad that I did not go that direction because, and I think this probably relates to you too. I'm maybe a little bit more independent in the type of stories that I want to do, and not so. Um, Not to say that educational is bad, but I wanted to do things that were a little weirder and a little
Yeah,
strange.
me too, but I didn't have any other options back then.
Yeah, yeah.
I really, really wanted to do other stuff, but this is what I was doing back then. And after that, well, I did do some. After that, I went into licensing, and I got a couple of book illustrations like kidlit for like carton books, those. So not really the picture books, but for a little younger age. Um,
A board book.
yeah, board book. Thanks. And gosh, I notice it's late in the evening, so I'm starting to
Your
had a
mental,
long day.
yeah, mental capacity is starting to hit.
Yeah,
Um,
a little. But anyway, so I notice when talking in English. Um, yeah, so I did a bit of art licensing, and then I got a couple of book projects with Campbell books and what's the other one called again? Campbell Books was UK, and the other one was in the USA, but I forgot their name. Sorry.
okay.
Anyway, so I did a lot of those, and but I actually did those with a digital technique. So partly vector, and then in Photoshop I would draw. You know, in Photoshop I would add like shadows and that kind of thing, and later on I moved to only Photoshop, and but I didn't really enjoy that technique much anymore at some point. And then I got another request from Campbell Books for a book, and I was like, oh gosh, I need to do it in that style again. And I actually declined back then. I was like, no, sorry, I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
and I already made so many of those.
in a way, I look at, you know, even for the like knowing or taking jobs that potentially are um, not your desired job can still be advantageous because it teaches you what you don't like or what you don't want to do as much as it does,
Yes,
you know,
exactly. I
what
had a lot of those.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, I know. I think we've all had a job or two that we look at it and go, man, I wish I had thought differently about time. Um, is there about sort of the method of making? One of the things that I've always been impressed with your work is your ability to um, make very complex uh, images, and I mean complex not in the sense that like they're puzzles or anything of that sort, but the type of work that you do sometimes has this like um, how do I want to put it, like there is a sense of lots of things working together, whether it be colors or patterns or like I'm looking at the flower book or just looking at your portfolio in general. There's lots and lots of odds and ends that just sort of like could overwhelm an image because it's there, but it doesn't. And
Oh gosh, at
yeah,
art school they told me less is more, and I was like,
yeah, it's I have a hard time putting in a lot, and it's not solely because of like I want to be a minimalist, but part of it is me actually saying like I just don't know how to deal with that much information, and yet you have a real handle on that. And I'm wondering, is there some like trick or methodology that you have that allows you to handle that so effectively?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's just that I can't stop. Very, very simple answer. I can't stop.
It's very impressive to me, just the idea of like I look at your images and they're so rich and robust with life, and then I look at mine and I go like, oh, I can only put one character in because I don't know how to deal with 20 different characters. I don't know how to deal with, five colors showing up, and it's
I'm
it's
actually jealous of you, of your work. When I see your work, I'm like, oh gosh, I wish I could have done it like that or used those colors. Or so I guess we both look at the
yeah,
other field of grass, which is always greener,
yeah.
right?
I it is a common like I look at other artists and go like, how do they do that? And I'm sure that people like you say look at my work in the same way, but it's so I can't wrap my how other people work all the time. I have a sense like I know what paints you use and I know how you put the paint down, like that's understandable, but understanding your like thought process is a much harder thing for me to wrap my head around. Uh, and like why you make those decisions versus how you actually make or how you actually do it. Um,
Gosh, I really find it difficult myself to answer. I just do what sort of feels good, and sometimes I also go too far, like too many details, and I'm like, that's not great either. But sometimes I have trouble, stopping because I enjoy adding, it's just I'm adding, yeah, little details and playing with markers and crayons like now for the texture. For example, just now I chose this crayon because I wanted the texture here of, is it visible? Of
yeah,
an chalkboard. So what do you see on a chalkboard? You see all those little white
it
effects.
heathery texture to it.
Right. So yeah, and I just like to play with my materials and textures, and sometimes I keep adding things. And I'm not even sure if I'm really replying to your question, but just
No,
yeah, and just on the go, I'm like, oh, you know what? That has a texture. Maybe I should choose a different material for that. Like I'm doing now again, by the way, without without realizing at some point. But
well, I wonder, like, I think your process is such a lovely sort of like um, organic sort of collection of uh, imagery and things of that sort that I I understand the idea of like just adding and taking away and pushing those sort of the pieces that you want to put in. Where I have the trouble in my head is wrapping around that idea of um, when do you stop? How do you know when to stop? And so, like, there is a point where you stop adding stuff. Maybe it's a deadline. Maybe it's literally someone going, "This is due today," and you go, "Uh oh." Uh,
some, that
yeah,
works actually. That always works.
yeah. But what what is that threshold? Like, when do you know this is too much, or this is too little, or this is, I need to rethink this part of the piece? Are there
Hmm.
indicators in your mind that show up that say, "Oh, I should think about doing this slightly differently"?
Well, sometimes it helps that when I'm making some tea for myself and I come back to an illustration, I'm like, I don't like that, and I just grab some acrylics and I, you know, just use that and then, yeah, create a new surface for myself to try and redo it again.
Is
Um,
it
like I do that with my picture book. I'm actually working on a picture book at the moment, and so I had this spread I was working on, and right in the middle I had drawn some flowers with a little salamander in it, like well, not really flowers, like a plant, and there was a salamander sitting on one of those stems, and
okay?
I kind of liked it, so I scanned it in and then I removed it by adding some white acrylics on top and just painted something else on top. But I scanned it, so I do have that illustration. But I removed it from the spread because it was too much. It was not working with the composition. And also because it was right in the middle, um, you have the fold, the fold of the book.
Yeah, the gutter.
The center line or center fold, I think you
Yep.
call it.
Yep.
Right. So yeah, so that it wasn't working, and then I don't care much about it not looking that great after that. I can still scan it in and just work in Photoshop and then see, you know, what I can save and what not. But yeah, sometimes I work like that, like quite messy also,
Well, with
and not afraid to make mistakes. Maybe that helps too.
yeah, it doesn't. What's funny is like it doesn't look messy to me. It looks so organized, and not like organized in the sense of like there's no variety and it's all stiff, or it's not that kind of organized. Then more so that it feels like it's so well thought out, um, and put together in a manner that I'm always sort of just impressed with. Again, like your approach and how you're able to.
Of course, I do make sketches.
Yeah,
in advance.
I hope
Like
so.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so talk to me a little bit about sort of, you talked about writing and writing your own stuff. Um, Tell me a little bit about that process, because I'm imagining you didn't go to school for that in particular. You went and
No, well, at art school we never learned writing. No. Um, yeah, I always wanted to write, and of course I during the years I wrote a couple of things and then made some illustrations and I sent that to publishers, but they were never that interested in it. And so I did try, and well, actually, it sounds a bit weird maybe, but right before COVID, it was I was actually in a burnout because I was so tired, and I had overworked myself quite a lot.
yeah,
And I was also a bit depressed. At some point you think like you're not capable of doing anything. You're a loser. You're not great. You're not really a good artist. All the things you say to yourself when you're very insecure. And so I was like a couple of months already in. I was not doing much. I was illustrating just for myself in some sort of sketchbook. And then suddenly I saw that there was this masterclass of a colleague of mine in the Netherlands, also called Mark. His name is Mark Jansen, and
yeah.
and he did his very first masterclass for picture books. And I was like, you know what? I had said like that same week, I told my husband, Koen, like what I really would love to make finally, because I have time right now, because I'm taking a break, I should actually work on my picture book. And then Koen said, yeah, well, maybe you should. And then I was like, yeah, but I can't, I'm not very good, and the whole shit again. And then that like a couple of days later, like it was such coincidence. I saw this Facebook post about the masterclass, and I told Koen, I said it's a lot of money, and right now it's a little bit insecure with finances because I'm not doing much work. But should I do it? And he said immediately, yes, you should. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to try it. And so I did this masterclass. And the funny thing was that Mark, he immediately said, I don't really have to teach you how to illustrate. It's just that you need a kick in the butt, I think. And,
Yeah.
you know, and he also said from the beginning, he said, you're going to make a book. I'm pretty sure you're going to make a book. And actually, the book that I finally wrote, because I really needed that kick in the butt, that was actually my first picture book that I wrote myself, and that I also illustrated myself, and that actually became a book.
So
So
he wasn't lying at that point.
he wasn't lying, but yeah, he's very talented himself. So. And he has years of experience, so I guess I had to believe him. I didn't believe him at that time, by the way, of course not.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, in the end, I have to say, yep, Mark, you were right. Thank you.
You stay in touch with him?
Yeah, well, not that much, like just basically sometimes on social media, and but not like close that
Yeah.
much. But I consider him a friend.
The it's that sentiment of just needing the kick in the butt. I
Yep.
think it speaks more truths than you probably know for a lot of us out there, that we just
Yep.
get in our own way and we need someone just to say like, stop crying, get it done. Um,
Right, and stop the self-pity,
yeah,
which was in my case at some point, but you feel like so lost at some point.
there's the woe is me sort of situation can stop so much of
It's
your.
also scary.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm teaching a class starting next week, and one of the challenges of the class is trying to get people to sort of rethink their aesthetic and rethink their approach. That sort of woe is me, I'll never make it, or people won't really like my approach. I must bend to their desire, I think I want to like rip that
No,
out.
that doesn't work. It's
Yeah.
just very simply put, it doesn't work that way. They
Yep.
want you for what you like to create, and if you're trying to work in a certain way to please a certain client, that's not gonna work
Yep.
if it's not really you.
And I would even extend that to the students in particular. Like if they're trying to please me, they got
Oh,
they need to please themselves. And that's where like your statement earlier about your teachers wanting you to do something very specific, like that hurts me because I'm like, no, I don't want I don't want you to have to like do what I say. I want to say something and you take what you think is important from it and turn it into something important to you. Uh,
yeah.
there's a
Yeah, of course, it could be that I mistook it back then, that I just
no,
misinterpretation back then. But that's just how I felt about what they wanted from me.
yeah, and I think that's not uncommon for a lot of teachers to sort of request students do something similar or akin to what they like to do. Um,
Right.
and you know that's something that I'm trying to watch out for.
I,
One,
I think it's really good that you're doing this
I
and
don't.
just
Yeah,
encourage people.
well they'll steal my jobs if they
Yeah,
do
that
exactly what I do. Then I'm less valuable, and so I need to tell them to stay in their lane, in their own lane. They can be as wild in their lane as they want, but I've already got this one. Um,
yeah, well, actually, yes. The,
so
we don't need a second mark. We
yeah,
just want
yeah,
you.
yeah. Or especially we don't need a second one that's better because they're more young and hip, and so they'll probably do a better job than I ever would. Um, so tell me a little bit about sort of the market there, in particular in Netherlands, because I know there is a different setup a lot of times on the way that European picture books operate, and
hmm
I would love to hear sort of a little bit of the like work American. You worked with um, European publishers. What you see as some of those differences, or what are some of the challenges that show up in that?
Um, gosh. Well, they do work a little bit differently, as in, well, in this case, in the Netherlands, we work mostly with royalties. Like, oops, sorry. I hope you didn't hear that. I was making a lot of sound here. So you have a flat fee that's not really high with most
Yeah,
publishers, and then if your book is going to do great, then you get mostly paid with the royalties. But if it's not, then yeah, well, you always let's say it shortly. You always want your book to do great,
yeah,
otherwise, you know, otherwise you're in trouble. Um, and that's in the USA. Uh, well, mostly, and also the UK is mostly like a big fee upfront and no royalties. Sometimes they do royalties, but I think most publishers don't in the US and the UK, if I'm correct.
well,
But maybe,
I get royalties on books.
oh, you do. Okay.
Yeah,
So well, maybe I don't have a good example then.
yeah. So we get advances on royalties, yeah, for the most part in the U.S. and Canada,
Oh,
or it's
okay.
you know they'll pay you a certain amount just uh, to get the project started, and once you hit that advance, then you start seeing royalties on top of that.
Yeah.
But it is rare for books to go to royalties. Uh, you know, it's not every book is going to go to royalties. It takes a special book to sort of move that direction, and so maybe that's a little bit different in the sense of like because the advance
Right.
is enough, you may not see the return on investment. Uh,
Right.
uh,
Yeah. I'm thinking that maybe I just got flat fees because I was doing board books. I've never done a picture book in the USA.
that is true. Board books oftentimes are a flat fee.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I realized like, oh, hang on, it's different for actual picture books. It's also some kind of picture book, but the board book is a bit different.
Yeah, because board books tend to be a little bit more seasonal, or they don't have as long of a shelf.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
royalties probably don't make as much sense for them,
yeah,
general, and so that's why you end up with that. But um, yeah, that's probably some of what you're seeing there, is that it's that specific genre of book leans that direction a little bit. Uh,
right.
so with now that you've been in this industry for how long have you been doing books? Actually, one.
I graduated for art school in 2002 and for the teacher education in 2004. And so I think I went back to illustrating when I was back in the Netherlands in 2005. Um,
And so picture book
so so it's 20 years actually. I realize now.
20 years. That's long enough that you've had, and I don't mean long enough like, oh man, I can't believe you put in that much time, but more so, that's a long enough period of time to see an evolution in
Right.
industry. And I'm
Oh
wondering,
yeah.
like, thinking back to those, and not just in what you made, but also in sort of what uh, how the industry worked, how you sort of perceived what you were doing, etc. Are there things that you look back now and go, man, that's really changed, and this, the way that it works now is so different, or
Mm.
um, sort of looking at it with a historical lens?
Right.
What kind of stuff?
I'm not
Kind of,
really sure. Yeah, the only thing I know is that at some point when the economy wasn't doing great, that payment for picture books in the Netherlands it wasn't already that good. And then I have the feeling that after this change of the economy, the payment has become worse and worse. And actually, well, for the Netherlands, I mean.
yeah,
So, and actually, there's been done some, what do you call that? Like an enquête. Is that an
study
English
or
word? Yeah, some sort of study. They did some study for illustrators in the Netherlands, and they asked them if they could, if they had enough income in a
yeah.
year for picture books, and it was like almost nobody had. Like the outcome was really scary, actually, so scary that some illustrator organizations um, said they were going to do something about this, and because payment in the Netherlands for children's books can be quite low,
Yeah.
and a lot of people can't even like a lot of illustrators said that they can't even make a living if they didn't have a partner, so they couldn't do it on their own.
I feel like that's not too uncommon here too. Like I mean, if it wasn't for me teaching, it would be a real struggle. Let's
Yeah,
put it
you're
that
teaching next to it.
way.
I'm actually not. I'm
Yeah.
very glad I can do this full time.
Is
But
it is the teaching or not the teaching, but the illustration full time thing? Do you feel like you're more in tune with the what do I want to say, like the market itself? How
crackle,
it,
crackle.
yeah, sorry, that's me close to the microphone. Sorry, everybody. I didn't even think.
No, no, no stars needed. It was funny.
Um, but just the idea of like being what do I want to say, being free freelance full time, etc. Do you feel like you are more cognizant of how the market bends, or the expectations that people have in the industry, because you're so
Mm,
more dependent on it? Like when I'm doing the teaching stuff, like, well, I have a paycheck, so I'm not worried about next week. And
right.
I'm worried about the long haul, but I'm not worried about next week kind of situation thing. And I'm wondering, is that something that you pay attention to more purely because you are more dependent on that paycheck?
Um, yes and no. And I find it very difficult to answer this because, well, of course, my paycheck isn't always the same. I know that. Um, but what I do have and hope to keep having is that I have a couple of clients I can return to, and maybe that's good to have is that you have a couple of clients that hopefully
Yeah.
stay your client. That's always a little bit of an unsure factor in this, but it's nice to be able to focus on that and be able to you know get commissions from. And but yeah, what I try is to stay in the loop with them, so even when I know I'm busy, just sometimes sending them a message like, oh, you know what, I have new artwork, can you have a look, will you have a look at it? And
Don't
uh,
now.
sort of staying in their vision, I guess,
It's a
if
uh,
that makes sense.
no, it totally makes sense. It's a don't forget about me email. It's a hey, I'm still here email.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. And sometimes they do have something for you, and sometimes they don't, and that's okay too. So, and of course, you don't really want to stress about that. It's just you never know. And sometimes they do have a job, and you're like, oh, hang on, I don't want a job now because I'm too busy. But
Uh,
yeah,
How
that sometimes happens.
how do you pick up new work? Like, are you email blasting? Are you is it stuff just rolls in and lands in your lap? Is that
A little bit of both. Sometimes it does like that, and but I oftentimes I also would just contact them and like a little reminder, like you know what, I'm available. So if you have anything interesting for me and would like to work with me again, I really enjoyed our previous project, which
yeah?
is always the case with my clients. Well, the clients that I currently have, I'm very happy with working with them. So all really nice people. So
Um,
I'm lucky.
the and outside of picture book, like I know picture books are as you mentioned earlier, like sort of your favorite realm, but what other sort of avenues are you doing art wise to sort of make it to diversify? I mean, are you doing prints? Are you doing? It's one of these things where almost everybody's got multiple things going on at this point.
um,
Every
yeah, I'm actually working on a new fabric collection with their Stella, they're
uh,
called. So that's really nice. And
when you do
yeah,
when you do
sorry.
that when you do that, do they send you like bolts of fabric?
Yeah, well, not bolts, but like a
Watches.
yard, I think
Yeah,
it's called. And so yeah, they do send samples,
that's
which
the
is quite cool because my sister makes stuff with them
yeah the
from them.
copy of something is always so cool in my mind that when you can receive that, it's like, oh wow, this thing's official. It's not just a thing in my head anymore.
Yeah, it's quite cool. I'm not actually very great at behind the sewing machine, but my sister and my mom both are, and they make their own costumes and that kind of thing for fantasy festivals. And yep, still fantasy, by the way. Um, and but whenever I have some fabrics, my mom will either make a blouse for me, and in my web shop I have a couple of things that my sister made, like oh, hang on, I can show you something
Whoa. Show,
like
show.
this. Can you see it?
Give me a second. The delay on the feed. So give me 1 minute, and then it should.
By the way, I love
There.
what you're making.
Thank you, thank you.
So
Oh, yeah,
cool.
like a coin purse or like a little.
Yeah, it's you can actually hang keys on
Oh,
this, and then have some coins in there as well.
that's lovely.
Actually, I had it lying here because it fell behind my desk and I picked it up. I didn't even know I lost it.
um,
I was cleaning up and then found it.
there is someone asked in the question here, and I think it's
Oh,
um, AZ Illustrate says can says may I ask how you approach Dutch publishers? Is there a method that is different than like
I think it's very similar to what other publishers like in the UK and the USA have. It's like you just email them and then hope you get a reply because like I'm with publisher Lemniscat in the Netherlands, and I know they get lots and lots of emails and requests, and they don't always have time to reply immediately. So sometimes it can take a
yeah
long, long time before they even get to see your email because they get so many things, and they also have to create books, you know. So I think it's just try and approach them and send them some work, and just through
pro-
emails, I think
yeah
is best. Oops.
the for the most part I and I assume this is that crosses a lot of boundaries uh, of international waters and whatnot is just have good work and be a pleasure to work with. And as
Yes,
long as you can,
exactly that.
they will take notice and they will write back or they'll find some way to contact you. Um, but you gotta make sure that you wow them right from the beginning. Uh,
Yes.
you know,
Oh, and maybe when you send stuff, don't give them a Dropbox link or something because their inbox will be full. You know,
yeah,
like if you add high resolution attachments and that kind of thing, you won't make them very happy with those. Is what I think.
no,
Is what I heard from just one publisher, but you know.
it's 100% true. I've heard that from multiple people too. That just like they don't want to be bombarded with lots and lots and lots of giant emails because it eats up their inbox, and then eventually they can't get the emails that are really important for them for the day. And
Exactly. Yeah, that's important.
small file size, and not you don't have to send them a whole portfolio. Even sometimes it's just smaller. It could
Yeah,
be like
maybe an
five.
image and then a link to your portfolio, or make a special web page for the publisher. That's maybe also an idea. Just make a special web page just for the publishers. I have something similar for my August and Susie. Those are my characters for my picture books. So I made one page that's actually in English and that just introduces them. And I was actually going to share those with people, uh, which I actually did at Bologna Fair, you know.
Yeah,
So they could just click or fill in that URL, you know, and then find the introduction to August and Susie and the books that I already created with them. So publishers,
they don't have to go way out of their way to hunt you down. That you have it built for them as
yeah,
sort of immediate, uh, like or it feels like it's intended to be special for them, whether it is or not. That idea of
right, right.
making it feel special is not a bad thing at all in this industry. Um, so you've been to Bologna though,
Yeah, I did.
and
I've
how was it? Because I want to go. I've never been.
it's nice, but it's well for me. I found it hard to make any appointments. Maybe I also was a bit too late with contacting the publishers for that. Also because I decided a little last minute, you know, to go. But in my advantage was that I was going together with publisher Lemniscat. So in my case, I was together with the publisher, and I also did some portfolio reviews. They asked me if I wanted to do those. So I did have how do you say a target? No, a purpose to go,
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, what I've heard from several illustrators is that make your appointments if you want to talk to other publishers, make those appointments really in time, like months in time, maybe.
Yep.
And I was too late for that, so I didn't have any appointments in the
I've
end. But
do
I
just
was already happy to be with the people of Lemniscat, who are actually really, really nice people.
I've heard people say that you also need to book your stay really early because stuff
Yes,
eaten up pretty quickly.
yeah, yes,
That's
that too.
I mean, I have a goal to go at some point, and it's a matter of sooner the better. But I have a feeling that it's going to be a little bit before finances hit for because it is a haul for us from over here to get.
Yes, I know, and you also have to pay for the stay and the food, and it's
Mhm.
it's it's really an investment. And for me, it's the flying fees are of course a little lower, so
I mean, I don't mind paying for that food because that food probably is wonderful.
it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Italy before, and I imagine that it can't be that much different in the sense like I don't think it's gone downhill since I was there last. But it's something wherein I need to go, and if I'm gonna go big. I think I'm not gonna like camp out in some park. I'm gonna money on a decent stay. But that's later down the line. We'll get there eventually. If
Yes.
um, I haven't even started characters yet, but I love watching you make the like, especially with the marker. Is that marker good? Because I know you said at the beginning. Uh,
Yeah, it
so
does have a little trouble with this bit of gouache, so it starts running a little.
like,
But maybe the gouache was still a little bit wet, I think.
oh, okay. Like it's pulling
So
wash a little.
yeah, it is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is doing. It's pulling it a little. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, I see what time it is. I have to stop.
oh,
I have to save my husband.
well, I give me 1 second and I'll do a proper send off. But yeah, you got to go rescue your husband. You can't leave him on the roadside.
Yeah, well, I have like 4 more minutes or
Okay.
5 more minutes,
Well,
so that's
let's do
okay.
let's do a proper send off here then, because I want to make sure that I'm not making you work until the last second and having to rush. Um, so I'm gonna.
I really wish I had looked more at your progress, but I guess
It,
I can do
it's a
that
ways.
later on.
Yeah, it's a ways. It will come together in the end. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna switch back to my little my face. There we go.
Oh, right. I
Um,
can try and do that too. Hang on.
yeah,
That's my window. It's dark outside now.
yeah. What time is it there now? It's 9 something. 9.
Uh, almost 9:30
Yeah.
p.m.
Okay. Yeah.
Hang
He's
on.
out cold in the cold and dark. He,
Yeah, otherwise he has
right?
to. He usually goes on his bicycle. It's like an hour drive on his bicycle,
Yeah.
so it's a long. But with the summer days, it's nice.
He's
So
not waiting outside, is he? He's inside waiting right now, right?
no, yeah, he's inside.
Okay. Okay.
And when I go by car, it's like half an hour. So
Um, well, let me say thank you for joining tonight. This has been very pleasurable to chat with
thanks for
you,
inviting.
pick your brain, and I know neither of us are.
Difficult questions.
Uh-oh, uh-oh. Um, I've heard that a little bit before. They're not the worst, but the thing that I would ask is as you finish the piece, and same with me, is let's tag each other in the work so we can see what the other one has finished.
Right.
I'm gonna keep going for the night. You'll be long asleep probably by the time I'm done with mine, but I
We've
will.
got 3 more hours, right? So
Yeah, 2.5. Wait, yeah, 2.5 hours. I'll get it done in 2.5. It'll happen.
uh, I'm not sure if I can do that with mine. It's
Yeah.
not it's not nearly done. I added way too many details.
But do me a favor and tag me in it. And again, this has been lovely, and I'm so glad that we had an opportunity to chat tonight. And
You too.
go rescue your husband.
I will.
Go tell him that he needs to bring a spare next time, or a pat.
You see him on his bicycle with a spare tire over his shoulder. Right.
From now on, he's not allowed to stop on the side of the road. But anyways, it has been a pleasure,
Yes,
and I'll
likewise.
see you later.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. How do I turn this thing off, by the way?
There's there's a little X on
Oh,
your.
I see it. I see it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Leave.
Okay, everybody. Again, that was Miriam Bos, who the book that we have on hand here is How to Speak to Flowers, which is this lovely sort of tome of about flowers for kids, and it goes through educational content like this, but also there's these just really cute, lovely images that are spread throughout. Unfortunately, one of the books that we wanted to get did not come in time, and so there's lots and lots of Miriam books out there. Go get yourself one of those books. I'm going to keep working here. Again, as a reminder, if people have questions, you can put them in the comments. I'm gonna make a Ask Me Anything instead. If anybody's interested in doing any sort of mentorship with me, please let me know in a DM, and I will try to squeeze you in as stuff goes, as the semester starts. Let's put it that way. And then I'm going to switch back down, and I'll show you the sketch that I'm working from for this piece, so you get a sense of sort of where this comes from. Lauren, are you watching upstairs? Let's see if she answers back. She may or may not. Depends on if she loves me. Sounds like no. Okay, I was just going to say, I will answer that in a second, Mrs. Hoffy. Okay, I was going to say, I did use some tissue paper, but I don't know the brand. And I don't like it. It's so thin, it tears way too easily. Are you covering it up? No, it's fine as now that I got it down, but it was a pain. I like the tracing paper better. Yep. I mean, it gives a cool sort of soft effect, but it's a pain. So the question that my wife asked here is, what are mentorships with me, and how do they work? So I do mentorships with people. I do a single session, double session, or 4 sessions. And the idea is, single session is generally a portfolio review. The 2 sessions is a portfolio review and an assignment, and then we critique at the end on the last day. And then the 4 session is those plus more assignments, more critique, and some business talk and whatnot. And we do it over Zoom, generally about once a week. Some people need, a little bit more time in between, and I can work around stuff like that. But it's got to make sure it doesn't interfere with my teaching schedule. That's all. But if you are interested, just DM me. Otherwise, I'm going to switch back down. I'll show you what I'm working with Sketch. Show me what you're working with. So let me flip this here real quick and bring this up. I'll show you the little sketcheroo that I got here. So actually that's pretty good. Here, I'll zoom in a little bit on the sketch so you can see it. So the sketch is, we decided to do something on city life. And so I wanted to do a little mouse, and I was thinking, well, if a mouse was a dog walker, what would it walk? And so it's walking bugs. And there's a little girl with a little stuffed bug sitting on steps with, I'm assuming, her father, and there's a little punk mouse over here putting up a flyer for a show, and some other little people in the background. And so that has turned into this so far. And you'll notice the stairwells, or the entryways on the buildings, are mouse holes. At least that's the hope, is that everything has that sort of like Tom and Jerry hole in the wall sort of vibe to it. And so I'm trying to add little touches like that imply old old cartoon mouse hole. I don't know why that was so hard for me to get out, but it was. So in the meantime, if you have questions, you put it in the comments and I will answer accordingly. I need to figure out how I'm going to put, I guess I might be able to, I'm trying to figure out like where I put this in here. Maybe it's like that. And I just got to trim that little piece so it matches. But ask me questions. I want to answer questions. It still needs more of that cut off. There we go. There we are. There's the little mouse hole back there. There's a mouse hole there. Everything needs mouse holes. Fed up with what? Lauren, why does it say from you maybe fed up with fairies and mermaids? I don't understand that. There's probably some reasoning, but I don't know it yet. Ugh, this pencil. Oh, she's trying to come up with a title for this episode. We're titling the episodes now. There's a mouse hole there. Let's see. Okay. So, I got that done. Let's get in here and let's darken up some of those steps. Let's put in a window here. That's it, raised up halfway. I just need to be able to get a mouse in there. And so I'm sort of making it a little ridiculously high up on that section, but that's okay. Okay, let's see. I want put some little lines that sort of imply the structure of these windows. I'm not even sure what color I'm going to make the mice in this piece. I haven't decided on that yet. It's a matter of like, do I want to make them some pre-existing paper color? Or do I want to make them some, I thought I had like a different yellow here. I guess I do. There we go. It's a little bit, I could do, whoa, what about that yellow? Look at that yellow. Oh, is that crazy? That's a little crazy, but I kind of dig it. Like, what if I made the mice these colors? Is that interesting? I wonder what it would look like. Let's cut out. Let's see what happens if I do this. If I cut, I'll make a little mini version of what I'm, wait, it needs to be bigger than that. Boom. The live feed dropped. Well, that's kind of a fun color. Is it too much though? Wait, is that too big? Maybe it is too big. I need to shrink it down. It's not that big in the piece, so let's say something like that. Is that crazy? Let's put some pants. Let's put some pants on this character. Let's see what we're looking at here. I just make a little mock. The whole thing, we'll mock it up right now. If it works, then great, we move forward with it. If it doesn't, then we adjust. Them's the rules. This all stuck down there. Okay, now let's see. Here's some longish legs. I don't even know if this is the right color, but we will see. So I do this. I put a big old thick leg. On this part of it. Yeah, go under there. There we go. And then a little bit skinnier leg over here. And the question is that yellow too much? I feel like it is too much now. What do we think? Is that yellow too much? Is it too punchy? Do I have any other yellows that would work? I have a soft yellow, but I think this is too close to the... Yeah, it's too close to the background. Okay, so maybe I do a different color for the mouse. It's a question of what color do I do then? Do I do pink? Pink mouse looks like it's... a pink mouse would look like it is... hairless. So I don't want that. Is this blue too crazy?
I think it needs to be on the bright side.
What?
It does need to be sort of bright. So up against the background.
Yeah, but you don't like that yellow either?
Fine.
I mean, I could do like, no, that's too much. Here, let's see. Orange or pinky? Yeah, pink. Pink might do it. Let's see. I'm just seeing what happens if I... Does that blue look better? I'm trying to... I think that one's matches better, but it's or let's see what other. I don't know about orange. The problem with pink is like I don't want it to look like it's a naked mouse. You know what I mean? If I go too pink, it looks like it doesn't have fur. But it doesn't mean that it can't be. I just need to be mindful of what color of pink I choose. Like, what about that? Sorry, it's going to take a second for it to show up. I can also tint it just a little bit too, so it's not a perfect.
I'd love to see
Anybody else's opinion? Anybody else's choice thrown in the mix? And let me see what I can do with this. Okay. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. Everybody. I just don't want to go dark with them. Okay, let's see. If I do that, and then make some leggies here. So what kind of questions do people have? How can I help? Hey. Yeah. Hey. Hey. There's also a pink like but that's I'm gonna put some stripes and stuff on them so they're corduroy, so they will pop. Don't worry about that. I'm just trying to see if I like. Part of the challenge is I'm working with scraps of color today, so it's like trying to find something that works perfectly is going to be a little hard. Not impossible, but a little hard. That's not horrible. I still have to do the arms, and I still have to do the other. I mean, maybe they all have. It's a question. If I put pink here, let's see what happens if I cut out other pinks and pop them around. Are they going to be jarring in their placement? I have one there, and I have one in this window. And I have one here. And I put one little guy over here. What do you think, Lauren? How do you feel about that pink? Could probably work with that.
The yellow might have been fine too.
Well, what do you think? Do you like the yellow? Is the yellow with those pink ears better? I mean, the yellow is more like punchy and weird to me, like a yellow mouse versus a pink mouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I wish other people would weigh in.
I think I might go yellow. I think I might go yellow. Da-da-da-da.
Maybe the bugs could be pinkish. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I can do that.
The ladybugs or something.
Yeah, I think I like the yellow. So let's get that yellow back out. I think it pops more too.
Yeah.
So and it doesn't run the risk. Just a nude mouse doesn't appeal to me in the same way.
You're not a freak like that.
Yeah, I'm not into that kind of stuff. See, I like my mice to have clothes.
Is that a better episode title?
I like my mice to have clothes. That is a weird. Now I can just spout out weird things, and you'll be like, "That's the episode title." I'm like,
Like when I stuff clothes or fed up with fairies and mermaids.
I like it when it's something they say.
What is what?
When it's something they say versus something I say. Okay, let's see. Let's get this.
I do feel like it would take work, but I feel like the guest portions of these could be turned into a podcast.
Maybe.
A lot of work, but
Yeah. Have fun with that.
like a la creative pep talk.
Have fun with that.
You would need an intern or something.
Since the school semester is starting soon, what class or assignment are you looking forward to teaching this fall? So I have two. This is from Matthew Burks. I have two classes. One of the classes is what we call a sophomore studio. It's essentially so at the end of your tenure at the school, everybody sort of goes through a thesis class where they work on an assignment that is sort of an independent project, and they have the whole year to do it. And the expectation is that it'll be beautiful and wonderful and all that fun stuff. In their sophomore year, they have a semester to do one, and it's their chance to sort of explore a longer form, self-directed project. And I teach a class that essentially does that. So we give them very little in the sense of prompts. They have to basically come up with the projects that they want to work on based on sort of whatever direct path they have career-wise or what have you. It's not just illustration. It's everything under the sun is viable. And so I have sculpture students and painting students and animators and designers and all sorts of things. And it's really fun just because it's such a variety. So there's no great overarching, like, you must do this, that, or the other beyond. They need to be experimental and do something that is sort of self-directed. And so that class is fun because I just don't know what's coming. And it is really dependent on sort of the contingency of who's in the class and what they're interested in and things of that sort. The other course that I'm teaching this semester is a course called Breakout. That is a course that's really about sort of if people get stuck in a style or in an approach and they don't know how to get out of it. And it's, you know, it's sort of a like, go out there and try something new. Let's figure out how to create a unique vision for your work or a voice that is distinct for you. And I have not run this one, so it's a bit of an experiment. But one of the things that I'm doing with the course, and if there's any students watching, this will probably sound a little strange, but I have not planned out assignments. So I've planned out the semester, but I have not planned out the assignments. And what I mean by that is that the assignments, well, the semester is planned out in the way that I know what we are going to kind of do subject-wise. So like the first 4 weeks are going to be about exploration, finding new artists that they like, trying new materials, really sort of playing around with what they are used to and comfortable with, and really trying to alter that to something that is new and challenging. The second part of the semester, or the next part of the semester, is about how to sort of adapt it into their pre-existing work and mix those two together and find sort of a happy medium. So it's not just pure experiment every time. It's how do you take those experiments and somehow manifest them into something that is more, what I would say, like legible in a way to what they currently do. And then we go through other sections that are like bits on sort of long form projects and things of the sort. But the reason why I don't have assignments is the course is really built around the idea of the students having to have an understanding of what they do, what they need to work on, et cetera, et cetera. And if I come in and I just go, hey, everybody, here's your project, go do that. The problem is they're all going to go, oh, well, that's not very fun, but my specific challenge is A, B, or C. And if I'm not really paying attention and I just go, everybody do the same thing because I pre-established it before the semester started, well, then that's not very adaptive or specific to their content or their desires. And so what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spend the first week with them planning out the assignments, sort of more detail. Like I have basic idea of what we can do, but it's really going to be talking to them about sort of like, okay, what are your challenges? Where are you seeing things that you're struggling with? How do we get past those hurdles? Me introducing them to some new approaches, and then, you know, it can't solely be on them, because then it's, if they're just learning, oh, I just put it on the wrong side. Dang. If they're only doing what they're comfortable with, then there's not really much learning there, in the sense that like they need to try and experiment and be pushed outside of their comfort zone. But also, I want to make sure that that I'm also allowing them to have some say in their education. Let them sort of self-advocate for what is of interest and of value to them. And so the combination of them talking, me talking, us deciding what kind of assignments would be fun and applicable for their given need, in turn will justify or manifest itself in some assignments that everybody is on board with. At least that's the theory. I've done this before in a class and it's worked out really well. And so I want to have that conversation with them. So it's a little bit more free form than what a standard illustration course is. But it's a lot of what I talk about on here. You know, I talk about life, and we talk about how to best do the things or accomplish the things that you really want to do. And I have methods that I've used in the past for experimentation and challenging people and things of that sort. And so it's a matter of just implementing that back into the class. And so I'll spend the first week with them talking about stuff and outside of school building those assignments. So when they get to the point where they actually are making and they're ready to put it into practice, i.e., I will have those assignments ready for them on paper, but it's not on a day one sort of scenario. If that makes any sense, hopefully that makes sense. It's called I'm trying to be more attentive to them and less of a hey everybody do the exact same thing. That's the short version. I have found that the method in which I was taught, i.e., everybody gets an assignment, it's the exact same assignment, you see how everybody interprets it, is not always as beneficial because, especially with the type of students that we get now, it sometimes can be detrimental to the student who really has a wild idea or wants to try something new, and all of a sudden I'm just sort of saying, well, that's not, I've already defined it for you. I've already decided what you're going to do. And that conversation is very, very important. So that's my answer. It was a long answer, but it was an answer. All right, let's see. I need more of that dark. Put it over here for a mouse. It's going to be my my punk rock mouse. It's going to be over here. So the punk rock mouse is going to have a little leather jacket on. He's going to be reaching up and putting a poster on that. He's not so little, but he is a punk rock mouse, or will be in the end. Where's my glue stick? There's my glue stick. Punk rock mouse, doodle doodle doodle. A punk rock mouse, doodle doodle doodle.
You could tell them about the videos that we filmed as a family the other day.
I could. I will in a minute, darling. My wife wants me to tell you about. Just kidding. So she wants me to tell you about. We filmed some silly videos that we're going to post on Instagram, and one of them involves getting in a cage. Let's see that door. That doorway is just the doorway into the building. I'll probably draw some lines that imply like hallway and stuff, but there's going to be 2 mice there. So again, LET star, this is the gist of where we're going with this one. And so eventually we'll get to that point, but right now I got to build all these pieces first. This is going to have little spikes on the collar and stuff, things of that sort. But for now, it's just a little punk rock mouse. A little punk rock mouse. Doodle-da-da-dee, little punk rock mouse. Punk rock mouse. Oh, punk rock mouse. There's the ears. And the tail will come out of this. I need an ear on this. That. Ah, get out there. They'll need noses, and they'll need that kind of stuff, but we'll get there. Let's see. Actually, these ears can be on top of the head. They don't need to be underneath it because they are, we're seeing the back of the head here. Those can sit right on top, like so. Okay. Man, my fingers got so sticky yesterday doing all these little teardrops on the book that I'm working on right now. I had to stick down hundreds of little teardrops, and in order to do that I had to sit there like this, and my fingertips got ridiculously sticky. It came out looking good, but it was a pain. So let's see, we'll put this one down first. I might have to cut the other one. Let's see. The question of, can I squeeze this underneath? Is that still available to come up at all? It may or may not be. Looks like maybe not. So I'm going to have to stick it directly on top and then just deal with the fact that it's on top. That's okay. Okay, and then this one I think will be, let's see if I make this one skinnier, if I can fit it in there so it's ones. That'll probably work. Yeah. The glue all stuck to the surface there. Let's see if I can pull that off. There we go. Let's see. It's a punk rock mouse. It's a punk rock mouse. Doodle doodle doo doodle doodle dee. It's a punk rock mouse. Oh, there we go. Oh, come on. It wasn't set in place enough. It just moved on me. Okay. There's those ears. Let's get these little noses stuck down. I probably should have actually cut the noses out when I cut out the basic shape, but again, someone didn't plan ahead, i.e. me, and now I have to adjust. It's okay. World won't end. As far as I know. Not over this. Okay. There's that. Let me give the punk rock mouse some pants. The punk rock mouse. Maybe some light blue. I want something that's about that color. That's probably. Oh, it'd be good if I flipped it over. How about that? That would probably work a little better. I can get He'll have some skinny jeans on. Cut it even shorter. Okay. Get a little leg right there. And then I need one more little leggy poo. This one could be like so. No one's asking questions. There's very few people on. Maybe Wednesdays are not a great day for watching this. Maybe that's the lesson. Don't do it on Wednesdays. Anyway, I'm gonna get this side. Stick it down right here. See, my fingers, my hands have stuff stuck to them. Come in here like this. I'm excited for the new Love is Blind episodes. When do those come out, Lauren? When are the new Love is Blind episodes? Is it tonight? It's not tonight. They're out today? I guess so. Let's go see them on vacation, frolicking around in the sun of wherever that is. Whatever town, whatever city, whatever country that may be. I have a feeling it's Majorca. I feel like it was Majorca last time. Or it was Greece. It was one of the two. Does anybody want to go to my faculty meetings tomorrow for me? Oh, you do? Oh, you don't? Cyprus? Yeah, maybe Cyprus. Might be. If you're lucky. Why is that so stinky dirty there? Get rid of all that glue buildup. Okay. Now, let's get those guys in. So, first things first. Let's cut out some puppet shape. And he's going to be about yay big, which means little kid's shape is going to be even less like this. Can sit down about there. I need to be smaller. It's better to do that. I think it's better to do that, yeah. There's that, and then let's get that proper shape there. And she can sit like right there. Sort of mashed up against the edge. You can sort of be in here like that. But I don't want it to be too much of a line. Let's see. I move him down here. And he's up on that step. Second step. And she's down here. Something like that. Okay. So let's see. Let's get clothes for him. I wonder if I have any more darker blues or things of that sort. Yeah, some purpley colors. Got something like this. Is that too close to that? That's not dark enough. Let's try. Oh. Excuse me. Excuse me, everybody. I didn't mean to sneeze all over the place, but I did. And that's that. All right. Papa Mouse needs a big old section of pants here. Cypress. That's not how you spell Cypress. Unless that's like the traditional spelling of it, or the, correct spelling, and we just know the bastardized version of it, which probably is not too far off from the truth. Okay, let's get that one leg that comes down like so. We'll sit right here underneath that. Okay. So if he's up here, we got this one little leg sticking down like that. Past that. And that's a matter of getting the other. I'm trying to thread the needle there. Okay, we got that. So I put that there like this. Yep. We're getting there, everybody. I'm going to put that one right about like this. This foot comes down there. And then his body can sit right there. So once I get these two in, then I can do lots of fun details. Gotta get them in first. So like that. And then I need another leg that is sort of different shape. Let's see. It's got to be a little darker there or something like that. And so more like this. Then like so. So that sits up there like this. Well, I'll even it out to his butt. Just a second. I'll cut that separate. Oh, I still gotta do the bugs. Forgot about that. Then I can start to do lots of details and things. We're gonna do that. Come trim that up right there. That's his gluteus maximus. Showing up in it. So he's got his 1 foot up. It's a little too long there. I'm just going to trim it just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now, let's get his arm. There it goes. Down the railing. So that'll have to sit on that railing. The other one comes down and just does a punch like this. I'm trying to figure out if there's like a interesting way to get his hand up on his knee. Without what I'm worried about is I'm like, maybe she needs to be standing on the side. Maybe that'd make it 10 times easier so I can let him just sort of sit on the stoop and not have to worry so heavily about her fitting in there. She won't be caught as well in the railings sort of in her way. Let's do that. Let's put his hand here and bring it out all the way. Let's get this one glued down. I might have to clean my hands of glue in a little bit. Who will be on Gavin Doodle next week? We're gonna have Matt Hunt on next week. He's the last of the month. And then we got a whole nother month after that, and a whole nother month after that. And guess what? A whole nother month after that. The hits just keep coming. We don't slow down for anybody. Probably just use this one here. Let's see. That's the arm that comes in right there. Yeah. I'm gonna put all sorts of details and stuff on these guys too, but for now. What's going on up there? What's that noise? Okay. This guy stuck down here. That's I forget what her name is. It's not Jack A, but the lady that sits at the window and chats on 227. The old lady. If anybody remembers her name, you let me know. Okay. Get ears on this one. This one has big ears, that's right. Pearl. I think you're right. It is Pearl. It's Hoppy. That sounds correct. There's a few of them, but that one in particular that always leaned out the window. They're talking outside. It's got to be a little bit thinner. How many bugs I gotta make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not too many. It's a quiet night here. Let's see. Okay. That's that. Let's get some of this stuff up and out of the way. Okay, I need a little nosy nose on punk rock mouse. Punk rock mouse. A doodle doo 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 doo. A punk rock mouse. I can't believe I got that to stick on first try. Okay, so now I need this girl. She needs to be wearing some sort of outfit. It's a question of, I don't want to introduce like pink like that to the mix. So what can I use color-wise that will be sort of in line with some of the other stuff? Like, could it be this? Let's give her the legs. Or is it something like, well, let's see, what other colors do I have out here? I don't like that texture on that. Otherwise, that might be good. That's too blue. I think this one's too brown. That color, yeah. On the pinker side would be good, but not as. That might have to be it. Let's do this. We will. Stick that down, let that dry. Okay, let's see what kind of shape we can get out of this. So we got this. The question now, do I want it to be a tube dress, or should I have her poking her head out from over here? Maybe that's what I do. Maybe she's like this. That's probably better. So it's not quite, what I don't want to do is an alignment, so it goes up, 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 up. And this way it's a little bit off, and so it's just a matter of cutting this the right angle. So she sort of just sits over here like this, and then I get a little leg sticking out, a little arm sticking out. Leave it at that. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if I go stick this down right here, so she's sort of standing back behind here. Basically what it boils down to. Let's give her some ears. Oh, they need tails too. I was gonna cut that out of this. So everybody's got wee little pink tails. I'll go like this. Whoop. I don't want it to touch right there, so I'm gonna have to angle it a little bit more. This way. Go like that. Probably pretty good. Is Charlie building something up there?
No,
What's that clicking noise?
my clock puzzle.
Oh. Oh, maybe I'll give her little tights. That'd be kind of fun, little like checkerboard tights or something like that. Okay, and I need a little nosy for her. Okay, and I need arms. Okay, so I need something like this. Like right here. Let's get this trim just a little bit shorter. I'll fit up a little bit higher. And then I'll give her a little sort of like what do I call it? Like Harlequin tights that show up in here. Okay, so that's that. Now let's get a little as long as that. And slightly more chopped. There we go. Okay. Like so. So quiet. I need people to ask me questions. I need people to ask me questions. The question: do I want this come up this way, or do I want it to go that way? I feel like it's more fun if it sticks up. That's a question. What threshold do I want it to stick up? Although, do it like this, it looks like it's more of a run. But I don't want to interfere with that. I don't want it to sit on top of that. I could go think of that, but that kind of is not horrible because it sort of crosses. As long as it crosses in the right spot, I think we're good. So I guess that's it. Like that. Okay. Put this up here. It's got to sit on top of this just barely and cross over Said punk rock mouse. Here's a punk rock mouse. It's a punk rock mouse. Let's trim this. Looks like it goes behind it a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now, bugs. Now it's a question of bugs. Bugs. We got them. You love them. Little tiny bugs. Like this. I don't want the bugs to be too jarring. Just like little bodies. Oh yeah, there's five. Nope, don't like that cut. I could probably do more than five if I needed, but we'll see how far five gets us. I'll cut out a couple extra just in case. Okay, there's that. Now, let's see what happens if I go like this, and this. I feel like they need to be lighter. Let's get those out of the equation. Let's see. What other colors could I do? Got that. I do have this blue that's pretty close to that. This is probably pretty good. I do something like this. And then for the head, maybe it's a little bit more like this color. Here, that's a better batch of it right there. And then I gotta do wings on top. Miriam Bos. Hi, Mark. Returned home just now and saved my. That's looking good. You're so fast. Thank you. We're getting there. It's taken longer than I hoped, but we will get there. I'm trying to figure out these bugs. What are we time-wise? 4:40. Okay. Oh man, my hands are so sticky. I don't know if I can do this. My hands are sticky. Hold on. We're going to de-stick my hands with some paint water. Okay, let's see. Use some water to get the glue off because it's water-soluble glue. Hopefully that does enough de-sticking for now. Ugh. No. Okay, where do those pieces go? There they are. Question: if I do this, what color wings should they have? Should they be light wings? Should they be like something like this and go? It's not bad like that. I wonder what they would look like with a blue head though. A head like this. Let's see. That's pretty good. Let's just stick that right on top. Like so. That's pretty good. I'm okay with that. So let's cut out some different size heads. Miriam, I'm making this for fun. I always do these for fun, so it's never a portfolio thing. I mean, some of them end up in the portfolio if they're good, but for the most part, it's just get on here and play. And so that's the goal for the night. Let's see, good. Maybe I'll do one that's like a straggler that's like back over here. Other than that, it starts to get a little congested. We'll see. Okay, there's that. So let's get those. Now let's get the bodies. They're all the same type of bugs. I don't need to reinvent new bugs for every. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A couple big ones. A couple small bodies. Miriam Let's see. I'm off to bed now, so I wish you a lot of fun and play. Can't wait to see the finished piece. Talk to you soon. Thanks again. Thank you, Miriam, for joining me. I'm glad you rescued your husband. I hope he was very thankful for the fact that you had to go out of your way to save him when he decided to run over something that ruined his bicycle. Okay, let's see. Lasso body. Okay, let's go back and get that going. I could try to put little pink wings on them. That would be kind of fun too. Let's see. Pink wings might actually be more fun. I think I'll do that. Pink wings can be more fun. Little body stuck to it. And then what I'll do is I'll stick the head. The only thing I wish I had was more of this blue right there. I wonder if I do. Let me see if I can hunt down a little scrap of that, because it'd be fun if these had a little bit more texture on them than just. Did I do the pink on those? No, I did. Okay, I got it right. Okay, let me see. Let's see if I can hunt down some more of that blue. I don't think that's the same. Oh, yeah, actually it is. Okay. It is actually the same. There's my little bugs. Like that. Let's see. Let's cut out all the pieces that we need first, and we'll build these suckers. I need a big head. I'll replace them as I take them off. A smaller head. Let's see. Teeny tiny head. Get rid of that one. Miriam, I don't know if you're listening still, but I would say that he probably owes you like a foot rub or something like that for all the trouble that you went to try to make him, throw him under the bus. He probably needs to be like extra nice and probably like wake up early and make you breakfast. And okay, There's the replacement for that. Now the wings. Use this scrap because I think it's a little bit better. Let's see. One, two, three. So I need quite a few more. Let's see. There's another. How many is that? That's 4. Need for the little one. Boom. Okay, and then do I have any more pink scrap? Okay, I guess I'll just use this. All right. Okay. I don't know if I like how long that was. Let's try another. There we go. Something like that. Talking to myself. Okay. Let's get that one cut like that. And then this one. Cut like that. Okay. Now, we stick these down. Where are we at time-wise? Okay. I'm at about an hour to do last looks on some of this. Let's see. There's one. There's two. Let's glue this guy up. Take this guy. Set it down here. Boom. Let's take this. Let's glue the back of it. Let's take it and this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to give him a little trim right there. There's another. Take this one. Well, let's do it that way. take the head and let's glue the head on here. There's 4 little buggies. Let's do this one. Okay, there's that. Why do I have so many? I thought I cut out the right amount. Apparently I did not. It's fine. I got enough that I can do what I need to do. It's just go. That guy's all done. So it's just this one that I need to do. Let's give that one long, and then I need to trim one of these down. Basically, is what it comes down to. Okay, here we go. I have school meetings all tomorrow. If anybody wants to do my school meetings for me and go, I'll let you. Okay. So I got 6 little buggies that all need to fit down in here. Let's see, the biggest one I'm going to put nearest Bug Walker's feet, i.e. right in here. Then, the next one. Again, if I need to make more, I can make more, but put one maybe right underneath the head of that one. And then I'll take this little guy. Let's put the little guy up right here. That's good. Let's take this one. Let's pull this one sort of being trampled on a little bit there. Get another one up in here. And then maybe one way out far. Oh, I got one more. I can put in there. So here's the far one that's going to be way out here. And then I could put one that's sort of like Trying to get up that guy's leg. It's probably a good idea. As dogs are prone to do. And try to like get love. Okay. I'm going to clear my space here in just a second, and then I'm going to start color penciling and inking, all that kind of stuff here. Get some of these scraps out of the way. They're not yet all over this piece. Okay. One thing I need to stick down is I need to stick down a little piece of white, if I can, right there, to be the flyer. So that can just sort of sit right about there. Okay, so let's get last little bit of glue. Been a quiet day here. Okay. So this always looks a little cleaner on this side. Same in here. 1 second. Scraps out of the way. I'll deal with the scraps later. So I have a little bit of a cleaner side of the paper, even though it's still got paint on it. There we go. Okay. Color pencil down. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what kind of magic we can work. Magic. And then I want these. Or should be this. There you go. Okay. The first things first. Get some. That. Let's go and get this guy. I'm going to do some corduroy piping down the side of this. Why is that not sticking? Okay. Oh, you know what I was thinking about doing? Is putting a little sun up there. That's that same yellow. I can do that at the last minute if I want. Okay. Do I have? I think I have a bright yellow that's almost this yellow. It's like not quite. I did have that yellow somewhere, but maybe not. Let's see if I wanted to. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's put some. Raven. Oh, let's see. Now we're gonna do some. All right, let's see. Maybe I put. That's the wrong color. I think that doesn't work out. I didn't think about it ahead of time. Where is my eraser? There it is. Let's try that with. Earth tones. Got some earth tone shoes.
Egghead is very researched. Yeah. Egghead is like the.
Okay, let's take that. Let's.
Oh yeah. What?
Okay, let's see.
On some websites, you can read the most recent chapters in English. So if I do that, then I could probably get all the way to L. But I would have to go chapter by chapter.
Are you doing training up there?
Yeah, I want to finish it right now.
Okay. Actually, probably need to let those dry. Hair dryer then. Scissors. Put a little hint of sun right up there. we go. Okay, let's see. Where's my white Posca? There we go. Okay, let's get some paint out actually. I haven't painted this whole time. Maybe it's time to. Yeah, a little touch of it out. Hope everybody on the internet heard that. All the girls from Charlie's school. Hope they're tuning in right now. Or more likely, they're tuning out.
Oh yeah, you fart all the time. I bet you just farted just now.
Yeah, probably.
Not a probably, it's a yes. Yeah.
Little collars. Okay, let's get some darker tones in here in some of these moments. There, 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 there. They found you! Ha 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 ha!
They found you. Ha, ha, ha. Ha.
Comedy gold.
Ha.
Okay, so that's. She's up a little bit more, so a little brighter.
Back here. Bam. Leave it. Volume 90 came out in 2018.
Where is my white Posca marker? There it is. Getting close to being done here, folks. I know I have another color that's up in here. It's not that one. Is it down here? Maybe it's not there. I guess I can use this. Ba-ba-ba. Okay. Come up here. Into the sun. Where are we time wise? Okay, we're getting close, folks. Very close. Here's what I want to do. I want to see about adding a little shadow underneath some of those. there. Soften those up a touch. Not so harsh. Get some. Where's the white pencil? There it is. Thank you. Let's see. Find the keystone. Hmm. Rid of that. Let's see if there's anything else I want to do. Is there? Maybe it. Where's my blade? I do want to touch up. No curves on that. Oh, you know what I should do? Put a little on top of that. Bits and pieces there. Now come back in with, where is it? There it is. That'd be cool if I did just there you go. Doo-da, doo-da. Let's see, one other thing I would like to touch on. Do it real quick. Which is just a little hand sticking out right there. Just got a second hand. That's all. Then I think I'm done. I will clean up for the evening. How's she look? Everybody that's watching. How's she look? Oh, you know, that's the other thing I was going to do. I was going to give some little eyebrows. Big eyebrows. There. And cups rolled up. Okay. Now I will clean up this mess and get everything back to where it was. Let's see. I don't need this or this. Don't need this. I don't need this or this. Don't need that. I do need that. So all of these, including this and this, go in here. The only thing I can see that I could do is maybe. About tinting that edge. Ever so slightly. Okay. I don't know why every time it gets harder to put these down in here. There we go. All right. Okay. I can go over there. This can go over here. That can go over there. Doobie doobie doo. Get this out of the way. Out of the way, out of the way, out of the way. Let me go grab my blackboard to put it on. Oh, my legs. We'll see what we ended up with for the night. Let's see if I can do it this way. It's a little cleaner that way. I'll zoom in a little bit for folks so you can see what's going on here. I'm gonna pull out. Let's see if I can get this angled just right. It's nice and squared up as best I can get. Whoa. Sorry, everybody. I don't mean for this to be jumping around so much. I'm gonna lock it in a little tighter. There we go. Okay, that's it for the evening. Everybody, I hope you had a good time watching. Again, can you recommend the sharpener for colored pencils like Polychromos or Caran d'Ache? Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I think that the Caran d'Ache ones seem to be okay in it. The problem with Prismacolor is if the core is broken, it just, no matter what sharpener you're using, is a problem. But okay, so next week we have on Matt Hunt. That's going to be at 2 p.m. on Thursday. Tune in then. Again, reminder, if you are interested in mentorships, you can DM me as well. I will be posting this session on YouTube on my Studio Hoffman or just Studio Hoffman YouTube. Hoffman is 2 F's, 2 N's. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else. That may be it. I got to get all the crumbs off of here. So I think that's it for the evening. You all have a lovely week. I will see you next Tuesday. Otherwise, Go have a good week/weekend, and I will see you again. Good night, everybody. Bye. Did I say Tuesday? I meant next Thursday with Matt Hunt at 2 p.m. If I said Tuesday, I apologize. It's Thursday. Thursday with Matt Hunt. All right, you all have a lovely evening. Good night.